Hello, welcome back into the Oasis, and of course today we're going to be talking about the Rebel Moon reviews because they have dropped. And well, I gotta say, I'm honestly baffled and disappointed with these big name companies that we go to see reviews for these movies that we look forward to. And honestly, I think we should just say go somewhere else with these companies. Like, these companies are losing so much credibility with me, and it's just absurd. I went to check IGN because normally I check IGN. Yeah, IGN is very, you know, they have their iffy stuff with game reviews and stuff, and they give this, and I check, and they give this a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. And you read the review, and you watch the review, right? And they're talking as if it being supposing to it's supposed to be a Star Wars movie originally is the reason it's bad. Like, oh, it was supposed to be a Star Wars movie, heavily inspired by Star Wars. I forget the wording they used, but they clearly addressed that it looks and is heavily inspired by Star Wars. Like, no shit. It was supposed to be a Star Wars movie. Don't Do not shut down an original idea because it was supported, or not supported, but originally supposed to be a part of a bigger IP that I know you little shits enjoy so much. Let's go and look at Force Awakens. If we go to Force Awakens, this thing is in can't spell for shit. But if we go to The Force Awakens, they gave it an 8.8, which is like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's an okay Star Wars movie, but an 8.8. And then we go to Last Jedi, right? The worst Star Wars movie ever made. They gave it a 9.7. You're telling me this movie is better than Force Awakens? That is absolute dog shit. And you have the audacity to give Rebel Moon a 4 out of 10 because it's Zack Snyder being Zack Snyder, and it's heavily looks a lot like Star Wars and a lot of the same beats as Star Wars because it was supposed to be a Star Wars movie. And I know, it's like, it's only one company, right? No, we go to Rotten Tomatoes, right? Rotten Tomatoes to go and look at their reviews, right? And we go to Rebel Moon here. Gotta deactivate my ad blocker. I don't even have an ad blocker. See, Rotten Tomatoes is absolutely stupid, right? I don't have an ad blocker. But apparently I do. Congratulations, Rotten Tomatoes. You're on to me. But anyway, we're going to go around it then, because clearly they're on to me. We'll go to Rebel Moon here, and hang on, I should probably be more specific. Where's the Rotten Tomato? 6 out of 10 from IMDb. They give it a 6.2, actually. A 6.2. I'm just seeing. And the popularity rate is going up, meaning, thank God. Also, let's not forget that IMDb is heavily, and I mean heavily, influenced by Disney. A 6.9. Still, they say this is better than Rebel Moon. The fact that people are saying that Last Jedi is better than Rebel Moon is a fucking disgrace. And I'm sorry, but the fact that you think that these movies are far better than an original idea is an absolute disgrace to me. It is disgusting. Like, we can't have an original idea? I guess we can't, right? 21% from You know what? There it is. There's the option. They're 21% from critics and a 72 from audience. Clearly, look at the difference in ratings here. Like, it's not even like a secret at this point. Like, it's no secret that money is the success for Hollywood. If you have money, you will succeed no matter what. No matter what. And the fact that this is a 21% from critics when I was there, and I can tell you for a fact, people loved this movie. There were TikTokers that do movie reviews. There were YouTubers there that I saw that do movie reviews, and they loved this movie. But oh, when it comes to these big name companies, all of a sudden the movie is bad. And the reason they say it's bad is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Oh, it's bad because it's Zack Snyder being Zack Snyder. Well, guess what? It's a Zack Snyder movie. A movie made by Zack Snyder. Oh, yeah, it has slow-mo in it. Guess what? The slow-mo builds the scenes. It makes the action scenes more intense. It builds. It's good. Yeah, there's a lot of cuts in it because it's PG-13. But the cuts don't make me feel like I'm being pulled out of a movie. The reason you're dissing this movie is absolutely absurd. And it just shows that they are trying to bury this movie before it even comes out to Netflix. And yes, let me put on my tinfoil hat here with my conspiracy theories, but here's the thing. I think Kathleen Kennedy knows she messed up in letting Zach walk. And you know what? I'm happy Zach walked. Because this movie would have been so much worse if it was done by Star Wars. So much worse. And it's absolutely ridiculous because all these big name companies are giving this movie a 21%. And then we go to Star Wars movies. Like, again, The Last Jedi. I'm going to keep comparing this movie to The Last Jedi. And it gets a 91%. A 91%. It's absolutely ridiculous. Rise of Skywalker as well got a higher rating than this. And it's upsetting that this is how we treat original IPs in Hollywood. We can't let original IPs, have their own breathing room. We can't let them, thrive because they affect and they're going to impact and they're going to take down the bigger IPs that Hollywood loves and adores and will do anything to protect. Like again, IGN, your credibility is god awful with me now. Like, Thor Love and Thunder was the worst movie I have ever seen, and you guys gave it a 7. So don't you dare make a review giving Rebel Moon a 4 out of 10 when I know what you guys like and what makes you happy. It's utter dog shit that makes you happy. And guess what? I guarantee you Kathleen Kennedy threw money at you to bomb this movie review. Yeah, my little tinfoil hat's on and I'm throwing out conspiracy theories because she's scared. She's scared that she's going to lose Star Wars and no one's going to like it. No one's going to watch Star Wars anymore because we have Rebel Moon. And guess what, Kathleen? Guess what? That's what's going to happen because no one wants to watch Star Wars anymore because it's just a bunch of boring fan-made content that a bunch of people are going to watch because it has their favorite actors from the prequels in it. And it's going to be nostalgia bait. Guess what? Rebel Moon is so much better than any of that shit, and it doesn't even have nostalgia. It's original idea that builds on a brand new world, built by mythology, built from fantasy, inspired by all these other films. And yes, it's a lot like Star Wars because it was supposed to be a Star Wars movie. So all you big name companies can go and shove it. Honestly, you all can go shove it because every time I read a review from big name companies about this movie, they say it is bad because it looks too much like a Star Wars movie. It's too much Zack Snyder. Well, guess what? It's a Zack Snyder movie. It's original Zack Snyder movie for that matter. And guess what? It was supposed to be a Star Wars movie. So how about you shut up, sit down, and stop trying to ruin a movie that's clearly going to surpass anything Star Wars has put out. Because it is an absolute disgrace and ruins your credibility to the point where no one's going to listen to you. And the fact that we have idiots on YouTube like John Campea that believe and will go with these reviews is an absolute disgrace. Because here's the thing. Those people that are like, oh, the Rebel Moon reviews are in, and they're an utter disaster. That's literally what he puts in his thumbnail. They are an utter disaster. It's insane to me that he will do this. He will absolutely do this because, oh, it's not a secret that you are definitely paid by somebody because you liked the Marvels. But then when it comes to your addressing Rebel Moon reviews, you call it a disaster. And then you have people in your comment section agreeing with you that it's not going to be a good movie. Like, you call yourself a reporter. Make your own fucking opinion. Go watch the movie for yourself before you start agreeing with reviews when you haven't even seen the movie. It's ridiculous that we are treating original IPs like they're garbage because they are threatening to our old IPs that we've had for forever in history. So, in all, I just want to say to everyone watching this video, forget the reviews. Forget everything. Everything that is being told to you from these big name companies and these big reporters that are saying this movie's bad and it's a disaster because it's a Zack Snyder movie. Guess what? Zack Snyder's not liked in Hollywood, and I get that. And it's because he's a very unique director. He has a style, and he sticks to that style. And you know what? That's okay. Every director's allowed to have their own style. And the fact that we have to criticize him and treat him like garbage because of it is absolutely disgusting. And you know what? This movie's going to thrive. And the reviews are not going to stop this movie from being a success. Because I am absolutely disgusted. You know what? And it shows me that every time a Rebel Moon project is going to be released, it is going to get this treatment. It is going to get the treatment of being shit on. And it is frustrating. But hey, that's fine by me. You wanna treat this movie like garbage, treat it like garbage, because guess what? It's only a matter of time before people wake up. Before word gets around that this movie is actually a lot better than anything Star Wars has put out since the prequels. It's a matter of time, and then next thing you know, your reviews aren't gonna mean shit. And people like me, who give my opinion without being afraid of these big name companies, we're gonna start getting the attention. We're gonna start being listened to. Because here's the thing. We aren't being paid. You are. You're being paid to give your reviews. And clearly, your reviews aren't adding up to what people are watching. And people are going to start to realize sooner than later, oh, Rebel Moon Part 2's out. Let's go check the reviews. I'm not going to go to IGN. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb, we all know Disney has them in their pocket, though. It's like the worst kept secret in Hollywood. It's only a matter of time before the smaller YouTubers, the smaller TikTokers, the smaller Twitter accounts that put out reviews on these movies are going to start getting the attention that you guys had. Because the truth is, you guys have no credibility. None at all. Absolutely none at all. So, to the people watching this video, before you make your decision on whether or not you're going to watch this movie, just remember the companies that you guys give attention to, including myself. I am guilty of it. I give them my attention sometimes, but I've started not to. Just remember what makes them happy. Okay? Remember what makes them happy. It's stupid movies like this. See, I know what makes them happy. This garbage, this absolute garbage is what they love. This is what makes them happy. There it is, right there. Rebel Moon at 21%. An absolute disgrace, you know? But yet again, this is what makes them happy. This is what makes these big companies happy. This god-awful AI-written bullshit. That's what makes them happy. That's what makes them happy. Because when it comes to original ideas, and Zack Snyder in general, they don't like him. I think the only good movie, the only, not even good, because he makes a lot of good movies, but the only movie they say is good would be Man of Steel. Man of Steel, which is a fantastic superhero movie. They didn't even give it a good score. Look at that. There's a not a big difference, but there's a small difference. And you know what? Yeah, I get it. It's a little bit of a darker Superman, but it's still a good Superman movie. It's still really good. And they can't even give it the credit it deserves. Like, it's insane. And see, look at this. Even when they tried to cover up his work with Joss Whedon, I think this is the only thing I agree with. Not even that. I'd give it like a 10%. That movie was god awful. It's just embarrassing. See, look at this. 29%. To be fair, Dawn of Superman wasn't the best movie, but it was, like, I think the extended cut was a little bit better. Not a lot better, a little bit better. But it's just, Zack Snyder isn't liked in Hollywood, and he doesn't get the attention that original IPs get, or these big directors get, because the big directors stick with everybody else's style. When it comes to these big IPs, oh, we gotta stick to this style. Gotta stick to this style. Ooh, ooh. Like, I know what makes them happy. We know what makes these companies happy. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna go and check reviews for Rebel Moon, go to Twitter, go to TikTok, go to the smaller YouTube channels, go to my channel. Self-plug. But yeah, you know, it's about time we stop letting these big companies speak for us. Because sooner rather than later, at some point, we are going to lose Rebel Moon if they keep speaking for us. That is why we are going to continue. I am going to continue to support this movie, support this universe, and everything that follows. Because it's a good movie. Because it deserves all of the praise. This movie, Rebel Moon, like I said in my last review, is the next generation Star Wars. Because it takes the time to breathe and give you what you want. And that is a fun movie with amazing character development that doesn't give it to you all at once. Because it's a universe. And that's another thing they hate. Oh, we don't have enough time with the characters. Yes, we do. We meet them as they join our crew. As they join our main character's crew, we meet them. And yeah, we don't get to know their full backstory. I'm sorry that it's not your typical Hollywood movie where we have to spend the entire first part of a movie introducing every single character's backstory. And then we get a 20-minute action fight at the end. Nah, it's Zack Snyder. He's letting the movie breathe. He's putting action throughout the movie while hinting at the possible backstory of these characters and how the mother world affected them and put them in a position and the mindset to join our crew to go to war with the mother world. I'm sorry that it's that way, but it's way better written than anything Star Wars has ever done. Oh, come join our rebellion because the Empire is bad. Alright, yeah, sure. I'll join. Boo. Boring. And also, the main character is vulnerable. It's not like she shows up and just, like Rey, beats the shit out of everybody in like 30 seconds. She takes damage. She has to work for it. When in the final act, she works to the fight. It's not that she just shows up and beats the bad guy. It's a brawl. And it's intense. It's great. Like, honestly, let's wake up, guys. Let's wake up and let these big companies know they're wrong and they will always be wrong. I just went off on a rant there, but you know what? It's frustrating. It is very, very frustrating to see that this is how Hollywood treats original IPs. But anyway, Rebel Moon comes out in 3 days, drops on Netflix and select theaters. So go watch this movie when it comes out because these reviews, they talk as if they were shown a completely different movie, which should speak to their credibility. So go ahead and leave your comments down below on how you feel about the critics butchering this movie before it even comes out. Not even the critics, the critics, these big name critics, burying this movie before it even comes out. It's actually frustrating. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I'll see you back in the Oasis in the next video. I think my next video will be coming out in a couple of days. And it's going to be the Rebel Moon spoiler review where we're going to go into spoilers. And we're going to break down the movie. And then I think I'm going to do a video with our big questions of the film and what could lead and what could happen in Rebel Moon Part 2, all of that stuff, you know. A lot of Rebel Moon content coming your way on this channel, so be sure to turn on that notification bell and be subscribed because it's stuff you're not going to want to miss out on. The graphic novel drops in January. We're going to be reviewing that. We're going to be talking through that. It's going to be a good time on this channel. So again, subscribe, leave your comment, drop a like, and hit that notification bell because you're not going to want to miss out on anything this channel is going to be putting out. Have a good day, and as always, see you in the next video.